Hello guys, how are you today? Welcome to Thermomix Adventures. My name is Lisa and this week is all about getting ready for Dad's Day on the weekend. So hopefully over the next 5 days you'll get inspired with some new recipes to try in your Thermomix, or if you're watching along and you don't have a Thermomix, hopefully you'll see how easy things can be with a Thermomix on the bench. Now this is a brand new recipe to me. It's fairly new to Cookie Doo as well, and I love that Cookie Doo keeps expanding and getting more and more recipes on it for you to cook with. So it just makes things more and more, I guess, creative in your kitchen, which to me is a big win. I don't have much time to think about being creative, so it's great that it's just there and I can search for keywords like zucchini and things like this appear. So let me show you how easy this is to make. Now you'll notice that it is in Fahrenheit and it's in ounces. When we cook with a Thermomix, it doesn't particularly matter. There's a few little rules to know so that you can, be aided in that, but otherwise it's really simple. So you'll notice the first thing it says to preheat your oven to 350 Fahrenheit. Just divide it in half and that's close enough. So about 180 degrees, 170 degrees is what you want your oven set at for this recipe. Grease and flour a loaf pan, put it aside. Now the first thing we're going to do is grate some cheese. So you'll see it's got 2 ounces. With the Thermomix the scales come up, so we can straight away just start putting in our cheese to match up with the 2 ounces. If you're shopping for this and you're going, oh, how do I buy 2 ounces? You just multiply it by 3 and add a 0. So that gives you a really close amount to the grams. Do say hi if you're watching today, and I'd love to know, have you tried this recipe? Chances are most of you guys haven't because it is brand new to Cookie Doo on the US platform. If you can't find it, comment below. I'd love to help you later on find this recipe. Now the next thing is actually a Gruyere cheese, which again is a bit like a Parmesan, a bit more bitey. I actually don't like it. I'm just going to use Parmesan instead. You could just use tasty cheese, okay? The only thing is when you start getting into a tasty and a cheddar cheese, they're not as strong, so the flavour obviously isn't as dominant through, and this really is going to take on the flavors of the salami. If you use a salami or a chorizo in it, or a ham, it's going to take on the flavor of the zucchini, which the zucchini doesn't have much, and the cheese. So you'll want to be adding maybe some mixed herbs or something, or some garlic if you are having just a tasty cheese in there. Okay, let's put the lid on. Do I have a lid close by? I do. Okay, let's grate this down. Oops, making a mess on the screen. Recycling the lid from earlier. 6 seconds speed 8. Just a note on that, if you use a tasty cheese or a cheddar cheese, you won't need that long. You will not need as long of a grate time, otherwise it'll start going to clumps. So hard cheeses, yeah, they take that little bit longer, and you'll see, I'll show you the results. Check that out. How cool does that look? Grated cheese in your Thermomix in seconds. I often will do a whole block and I'll have it in the freezer in something like a Glad bag, and then just get it out when I need it. Alright, next up we've got, where are we? Here we go, some all-purpose flour. Now I am making this gluten-free, so those of you watching along who are GF, this is for you. 5.5 ounces, we just keep shaking it until we match it up. Oops, 6 ounces, a little bit over, doesn't matter, close enough, good enough with Thermomix. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Now this is our rising agent, and I actually think if you don't have plain flour but you've got self-raising flour, use your self-raising flour, but skip this step now. Skip the baking powder step, because by adding your baking powder you're actually adding the rising agent into it. Okay, so there's a little tip. Swap out the plain flour, instead use self-raising, and then skip this out. Next up, 3 large eggs, in they go. Okay, some milk, and it says whole milk. I reckon you could do it with your almond or things like that. We've actually had a bit of fridge problem, and our fridge isn't overly cold lately, so I'm a bit worried that if I have this in there, it's going to curdle soon because it's not cold enough. So I'm going to actually try and intentionally use it the next 24 hours. I'll probably make ricotta and make some ricotta gnocchi with it and things like that. Some vegetable oil. Now it's important with this recipe you do use a veggie oil. I'm using a sunflower seed oil. It needs to be flavorless, because otherwise that will become an olive oil loaf and it'll just taste wrong, okay? So 3.5 ounces. This is your equivalent of butter in your baking, I guess you could say. 3.2, close enough. But yes, a grapeseed oil, a rice bran oil, or a sunflower seed oil. If you're desperate, a veggie oil. However, just putting that down, veggie oil is not fantastic for you because of the blend that they use in the processing. Okay, 30 seconds, speed 5. Let's spin it up. Probably won't give it the full time. Let's see how we go. 15 seconds will do me. I am not a patient cook, and that's what I love about the Thermomix, is that it makes it quick and simple. I mean, if you're in your own kitchen and you weren't on a live video, you would walk away and go do something else for that 30 seconds and come back when it calls you. Okay, but the great thing is I can override it when I'm feeling impatient. So we've got now some chorizo sausage. I've got some leftover salami. Mine are cut in half. They're probably actually too big. However, and I probably don't have enough. Let's just weigh it. There we go. Yeah, I've only got half of what's required. Doesn't matter. We'll just skip that and it won't really particularly matter. I could put some ham in it. I could put some sausage in it. I'm just going to leave it with a little bit short. And then some diced zucchini. Now, the next step actually calls for it to be, oh, by the way, the dice is it says 1/4 of an inch. I've done it like this, but as I was doing that, I had a little thought, I don't think the kids are going to eat a chunk of zucchini in there. So when it comes to this next step, which is ordinarily a stir-through step, I'm actually going to go a little higher in speed. I'm going to override the guided recipe and blitz that down so it's more like a grated zucchini and grated, mine was a salami. So let's do that. I'm going to take the reverse off so it does chop it. I'm going to spin it up to speed 3, but I'm going to go to speed 5. Chopping is speed 5, and that'll even that down. Let's have a look. That's only been 10 seconds again of that 20 seconds. I've got my silicone little loaf tray here. This is from the Mix Shop. For those of you who don't have one of these, get your hands on one. They are awesome. You can get the bread loaves as well that are bigger, but you'll need to grease those. Now that's better. That is the texture and the consistency I think they will eat, which is awesome. Now it says to transfer into the loaf pan. So let me just put that into it. I don't know if I can do it backwards. I can't show you guys, sorry. Just gonna have to trust me, it looks amazing. Can't do a lefty into it. And then it's gonna go in the oven and it's gonna cook, I think it's for 40 minutes, but let's just have a check. I'll scrape the rest of that out in a minute. There is some more in that pan to come out, in the bowl. Bake for 40 to 60 minutes or until the cake is golden brown. And then serve warm or cold. So my suggestion is for Father's Day on the weekend, or even if you're just getting together and having brunch with people, is to serve it with poached eggs and some hollandaise sauce. So tomorrow I'm going to show you the tips and tricks to the most amazing poached eggs in your Thermomix. Honestly, a Thermomix makes having cafe style food amazing in your own home. And then Wednesday you'll see a red hollandaise sauce, so it's made on beautiful capsicum for the Wednesday cook. So putting all that together so that you've got a beautiful brunch come the weekend. So I will love you and leave you. Have a fantastic afternoon. Let me know if I can help you with anything regarding your Thermomix. There is an amazing promo that is coming to an end tomorrow, end of month. So if you've got friends and family sitting on a fence about a Thermomix, please do let them know that the offer is ending. Send them my way. I'd love to help them get a Thermomix on the bench, and more importantly, keep getting more and more out of their Thermomix. So otherwise, take care. Thanks to those of you saying hello today. I will check back through the comments. I can't see them right now, but I will come through and say hi. Can't wait to hear if you've given this a go. And for those of you who are about to give it a go in the next few days or for the weekend, I'd love to see your pictures. So please do share.